We live, man. We live. Listen, bro, I really appreciate you taking the time to sit down with me, man. I've been laughing
Absolutely.
at your jokes on social media. I think I started following you on Facebook first, and
Mhm.
then I transitioned to Instagram. And I've been following you for a minute, man. And I just
Yeah,
always laugh at. I'm like, man, this guy. Where did he find his content?
bruh,
It's
it's
like it's
everywhere.
the universe just sends you
It just sends it to me. It
the
sends it.
craziest
Hey,
stuff,
Darian,
man.
y'all got alcohol? You got alcohol in there, Darian?
No, we
Of
ain't got.
course you wouldn't have
No, we
alcohol.
don't.
Look at the hell no, he wouldn't have. He said, I gotta go to vacation Bible school after this. I can't be drinking.
Hey, man, you gonna get us locked up. He ain't even legal, man.
I figured, you know what, I was looking at him, I was like, he looked like he about 10, 11.
Hey, you gonna get me locked up, child labor laws. No, hold on.
That's why I said when I walked in, I said, well, so that's how James is getting it off over here. He got the little slave trade going on. What kind of illegal work for? I see what's going on. He's a right to work state, and he's going to make sure he
No, man.
exercises it.
Oh man, yeah. Like I said, man, I've been following you for a minute, man.
Thank you,
You
bro.
funny as hell, man. I actually haven't had a chance to see you in like in stand up form. So
Mm,
I wanted to ask you about that.
hmm
For one, the new comedians, a lot of them come up, on social media first,
Yeah.
then they got to get on the stand up. So, what was your journey like with just being a comedian?
hmm
Obviously, a lot of people know you from social media reaction videos, but people want to learn a little bit more about your story and how you even got into it. And I'm gonna tell you about. I used to want to be a stand up comedian. I'm gonna tell you about what.
Oh,
I'm
hell.
gonna tell you about where my career went. Woo!
Tell me when it died. I want to know. Because it seems like a story. It's like, when I first started and then it died, I got to hear that. Yeah, man, I started doing stand up 20 years ago.
Hmm.
And the social media platforms weren't available at that time. So it was just the stage. You had to hit the stage, get in there and work it out. Um, but then comes social media, and
Hmm.
then you have a lot of these social media guys pop. Then they got to make the transition from being a social media comedian to a stand-up, which is a little bit different. Both of
Yeah.
them have their differences because
Hmm.
it's the difference between from coming stand-up, crossing over to social media. So both of them are to be applauded. You know what I mean?
Right.
When you see these guys, because for a while they was hating on them. They was
Yeah, yeah,
hating on
yeah,
them.
yeah. A lot of the OGs in the game was
It
hating.
was
Yeah, yeah,
hating
yeah.
on,
I
hey man,
remember.
them dudes ain't real. Them boys ain't real. And I always like, nah, man, I respect it. And I'm a hybrid. I can play both sides. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? I'm proficient on stand up. I'm proficient in social media. Uh, and then you've got a lot of guys that have come along like that.
Hmm.
But that stand up, man, that muscle is something entirely different by itself.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? You think you want to get up there. Let me tell you something. When you sitting around with your buddies and y'all laughing, man, you've always heard it. I know you heard it. Hey boy, you should be a comedian, boy. Hey, you should do stand up. And let me tell you, I wish I could give everybody a chance to go on stage and do comedy
Hmm.
so they can bomb
Hmm.
and see what really goes on stage. Because
Hmm.
until you bomb, you think, ah, man,
Hmm.
it's just, hey, just let joke a joke. No, you're going to stand up there for an hour,
Mm.
1 hour, and talk about shit that's in your, can we curse on this
Yeah,
platform?
yeah, yeah. Go ahead,
And
bro.
talk about shit that's in your mind and make it funny.
Hmm.
This is not a one-off. You're just making your buddies laugh who know you,
Hmm.
your family, who've been around you. We talking about total strangers. You've never seen me in your life. Go.
Yeah,
Especially our people. Black people.
yeah. You can get
What?
it.
Hey, hey, we want
We the
more.
hardest to crack.
We want more.
The
There we
hardest.
are. We want. See, you doing good behind the camera. Ain't nobody gonna have that much expectation other than make sure things are clear. That's it. Stand up. I'm talking. I'm delivering something to you. You better be funny. We threaten you. We'll threat. Black people will threaten you at your show. Hey, boy, better be funny. What happens if like what? Stone him. No,
Yeah.
it's a lot of pressure doing stand up, but being able to mix it up and step into that arena, you felt it. You know what it feels like.
Well. See, I didn't. Let me tell you the story, right? So I didn't actually try stand up when I was younger. Growing up, I was always funny,
Hmm
so I just wanted to be a stand up comedian. I
Oh,
never
you
tried.
wanted this?
I wanted it, right?
Mm.
So here's what happened, right? So throughout high school, I was always the class clown roasting everybody. Like
Right.
we used to always roast. I used to always get roasted for being short, right?
hmm
So we always roasting. So one of my best friends, his name was Jalen. Um, he probably gonna kill me for telling this story, but I gotta tell it, right. One of my best friends in high school name was Jalen. He had this beautiful girlfriend. I mean, just beautiful. Her name was Jaya, and
She sound beautiful.
she
Jaya.
sound she sound beautiful,
Jaya.
sound exotic, just
Yeah,
crazy, right?
yeah.
So
Curly, wavy hair.
good hair,
I felt it. I had
nice,
never seen it before. Jaya.
nice smile,
Yeah.
everything, smart, everything. And he was a guy. He was on the basketball team. It was like a movie.
Right. They were
And
made
then,
for each other.
and then this dude goes on a trip. It was like a baseball trip or some type of trip to. I'm from Detroit, so he went to a trip to. I think it was Kalahari or Cedar Point in Ohio. One of those in Ohio, and he sleeps with this girl named Ashanti.
She sound bad too.
No, 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 no. She was terrible.
Oh damn.
She was she was
Okay,
she
she
was
tricked you.
terrible.
Because I never met an ugly Ashanti.
It-
I have never met
She was-
anti-pretty Ashanti.
she was terrible, man. She was like 6 foot. She was huge. But
6 foot swole.
She was huge.
Okay.
She was just like didn't carry herself right. Shout out to Ashanti. I don't know what she's doing now.
He was drunk. Man, he got drunk. He didn't do that on his
He
own.
didn't get. That's the thing. He didn't get drunk. He did it
Sober?
4 times.
Oh my god, you
'Cause
went
look,
back?
This the problem. This was the problem. He everybody had a little situation. They had their couple, somebody
Right.
that was messing with. His girl couldn't go. So it was him and her the last two standing.
Right.
And he hit it, right?
Oh.
So they was all cool with me. We was all friends. I used to roast them, they used to roast me, whatever. We at like a barbecue in the hood. So I see them walking. I'm like, oh, y'all got back from the trip. What's up? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They run straight up to me like, yeah, man, we had an amazing trip. And
Who
you
is this? This is he and her or just him?
No, this is her and her homegirl.
Ah, okay.
She
digger.
runs up to me like we had an amazing
Ashanti.
trip. Yes.
Got you.
And you know how somebody is telling you, they want to tell you a story, but they want you to ask.
Uh-huh.
So she's like, yeah, we had a great trip. It was phenomenal.
You should have been there.
You should have been there. It was
Uh-huh.
great. And her friend like, yeah, we all got some, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, we in high school, so that's a big deal. Like,
Hell yeah, that's big. Somebody
everybody-
had sex.
everybody
You
has.
know somebody that had sex. That's huge.
That's huge. Everybody has sex. So I'm like, okay. I'm doing my numbers. I'm like, you got a boyfriend. You got a boyfriend. Oh, you was with so-and-so. All right, then I'm like,
It's math ain't mathing.
the math ain't math. So
Right.
I'm like, who you hit? And she said my man's and shit. So
You don't believe it.
I don't believe it. So I'm going berserk. So we go back to school probably, the next week or whatever. I'm roasting the hell out of him. I'm roasting him so bad that our biology teacher is in the middle of teaching and he going off on me. He like, Mr. Hill, I'm gonna put you out, whatever, whatever. And then all I see is him go down and like this, like go down.
Right.
And then he's on the floor. Everybody, what the hell is he? He's sick. What's going on?
Right.
And he's a white dude, so he came up so red. He was laughing so fucking hard, dude, at the jokes that I was saying or whatever. So we do this every day, man. So
Right.
it's not like it's not bullying because
Right. No.
it's like we all are friends. And he just stormed out the room. And then they called me to the office. I'm like, what the hell is going on? They're like, yeah, you're going to get suspended for bullying. Your friend said he was about to take his life. He was about to do this. He was about to do that. And he was like embarrassed to come to school again. We found him in a dark room in the school. It was just all terrible. And I just felt like, damn, man, like I know I have a voice to communicate. I know I
Right.
have the message to I have a way of connecting with people.
Mm-hmm.
But when he did that, and this was like my best friend, I'm like, damn, man, like maybe this ain't for me. So then I went into, just motivational speaking and business. And that's how I got to where I'm at today.
You roasted a white dude so hard you quit.
No, I roasted my friend so hard.
Right. He was a white dude.
No, he was a black dude.
Who was the white dude?
The white dude was the teacher.
The teacher?
The teacher. That's what made it worse because that's why my friend stormed out the room because
Gotcha.
the teacher fell on the ground and everybody like, what the fuck is going on? The teacher on the ground and he came up laughing.
Right.
So my friend just got up and stormed out and
Hold on. Give me because you got me. I'm invested in that. I'm in the story. What did you talk to him? When did he say, "Hey man, yeah, I did it"? When did that conversation happen?
I mean, the next day in school.
How? What did he say?
He said it in front of his girlfriend. His girl was right there laughing too. We like, what the fuck? Like, what? It was so bad. Listen, it was so
New
crazy.
niggas. See, that is new nigga shit right there. They laughed to.
It was so crazy that she was laughing, he was laughing, we all laughing because
Right.
we literally couldn't believe that this guy who was like one of the most sought after guys in school.
End up sleeping with the least.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I believe he might have like took her virginity or something. It was something crazy like that. And she was right there. We all was right there laughing until it was the tipping point when the teacher actually fell on the ground laughing. I guess that was like, damn, like the teacher laughing
Man,
at this.
right.
So now it kind of made him embarrassed. And after that, I just was like, no, I'm not gonna do.
You're gonna use your voice for different things.
Yeah, I'm gonna be Malcolm X, Martin
Gotcha.
Luther King,
Motivate young people to get behind the camera.
Yeah, exactly. So that's my whole. That's the reason I'm not on the stage bombing.
Oh,
throughout the country.
yeah, man, it's different, man. And like my first time on stage, it was terrible, man. I bombed, man. I bombed bad, and I didn't know what I was doing.
When did you start? Like, how old were you?
I was 20.
Oh, and you bombed at 20.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't no bomb.
Did you
It was
forget your
bad.
lines or?
No, I said everything. Oh, no. I didn't forget anything. I said all the stuff that I thought was in my head when I was in that mirror practicing and killing. When I was in front of that mirror, I heard so much laughter. I was like, oh, this one, I might close with this. Man, I got up there and started talking to them people. And it wasn't like a crowd of people that didn't know me. I used to work on the boat, on the river boats. I was a blackjack dealer. So this is all people that know me.
Right.
Who's supposed to, you know what I mean?
Support you.
They want to laugh. It ain't their fault. It's me.
Wow.
I don't have the shit to make them laugh at all. And I'm up there for 3 minutes. And I'm supposed to be out of there in 3 minutes. 3 minutes turned into 5 minutes. And when I tell you I'm up there giving a TED talk, I ain't no punchline.
Did you go off target like what you was practicing?
No, I went straight to the script. I said everything that I had written down, and none of it worked. It was just bad material. It just did not work. And I got off that stage, and I was like, well, I'm done. I'm done with this shit.
See, one thing about me is I'm very self-aware. I don't think. Well, I mean, I never tried it, so I don't know. But the reason I don't think I would be very, very good at stand-up, is because I'm a impromptu. Like that's one of my skills is being able to speak impromptu.
Gotcha.
Right. So I might be a good host. You know, I can crack a joke here or two
And keep it moving.
But to keep somebody's attention for 30, 45, an hour, and have the punchline like I always go off script. That's why even when I speak, like I'm not a good speaker when I got a script. I'm a good speaker when they just say, go out there and deliver this type of message, or go out there and get the crowd hyped for 5 minutes because, you know, this, that, and the third, or go tell a story about this or that. I'm good at that, but like what y'all do, that 30, 45 minutes, staying on script, hitting the punchline, following this right behind that, like I'm terrible.
James, I'm a little different with that. I don't stick to I don't have a script. I don't do one. I'm gonna do this joke. I know the jokes, and then I'll do, and then I'll just let them come to me. I know them. Some of them I've said before. I just know the right place to put them. I'm talking to an audience. I say something in them, it sparks something. Now I know that joke, bam, so I keep it. So it's. I know what you're saying. There's people that have the ABC set.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this joke and this middle, and then I don't really have that.
Okay.
Like when you're doing TV, you have to write out your set.
Yeah.
You have to write your whole set out. And I hated that. So I realized, man, they ain't gonna be able to stop me once I get on the stage.
So you did TV before?
I've done every station, every HBO, Showtime. But you'll write it out. So what I would do is I ain't writing this shit out. I'll write anything. Give me your 10 jokes. I'll be like, taco meat. I ain't got shit to do.
You gonna give them some bullshit,
I just
then get out there
and do what I want to do. Yeah, hamburger salad. It's a hamburger salad. I get up there and start talking about my family and go to here and go to there. They're like, where's the taco meat?
Right.
What happened to the hamburger salad? Hey, how was the show? Show was great. Well, don't worry about the shit that I wrote down for you to read.
Yeah.
Just know that the show was delivered. So that's how I like it. I like to live in the moment. You know what I mean? Because the audience knows when something's coming off the top.
Yeah.
And then they know. The audience is smart. It's a smart audience, especially if they're coming for comedy.
So after bombing, you know, early on, what made you continue to go? Have you bombed, you know, recently in the last, I would say, few years, ever since social media?
No more bombing.
Okay.
Not for me. I'm not saying comedians, once you do it 20 years, you don't bomb. I just know what I'm going to say. It's like saying, I don't think this conversation with James is going to go well. I
Yeah.
know it's going to go well.
Right.
I know how to talk.
Mm-hmm.
I know if he says something to me, I know how to respond to it to keep the shit. I know. So, and that's not any arrogance in saying I don't bomb. I have bombed. After that, I learned, okay, I got to figure out how to connect with this audience. I got to make sure that the material's there, and I got to make sure that I'm delivering this.
Right.
Everything has to line up. And after being on stage for so long and you practice, so you've been on stage, you get it. You know what I
Right.
mean? It was like, I used to host a night in Louisiana
Mm-hmm.
at this African club called Club Culture.
Mm-hmm.
African owner. His name was Olu. Cooler dude, man. He was cool, man. He didn't give a shit about nothing in the club. He just wanted people in the club, and he just wanted you drinking beers. You could bring a country western night to that bitch. He didn't care. Just make sure they got red stripes. They're drinking it, and it's packed. But it didn't start off like that. It started off with like maybe 4 or 5 people in the audience.
Mm-hmm.
Small, and they're not even in there to watch comedy.
Right.
They just in there because they finish work. It's
Getting
5
a
African
beer.
dudes, and they spread out. It ain't 5 in a. They not there for your shit.
All right.
I'm just up there.
Okay.
Do another joke. No good. Don't do that one. Go to another. Hey, bring another comic. You are not funny. I mean, straight to your face.
Yeah.
That's the audience.
Right.
So you had to have thick skin.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go tell. I'm gonna go tell. You go tell who? You can't go tell anybody.
Right.
You have to get better at that. And I just kept going every Monday. I just kept going and working it and working it and working it until I feel like, man, I'm comfortable.
When did you get your first paycheck from it? Because a lot of times, you go do this free stand up night,
Mhm.
and a lot of big comedians who are making buku money, they still go do these things.
Yeah,
Right?
listen. My first gig came early for me. I was just in the right place at the right time. I had a show with Simply Marvelous, amazing comedian, rest in peace, who died
Mhm.
a few years back, and Dick Gregory.
Oh,
And I
okay.
got put on this show.
Mm-hmm.
And I never forget, I met Dick Gregory, and he came in, rest in peace as well. He came in the room, and I had a suit on. I was nervous. So I was like, man, I'm about to meet him.
Yeah.
This is comedy royalty.
Yeah. Exactly.
And it's coming. I have a brown suit on. I got some gaiters on. I'm fly as hell.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the third time I've been on stage. Bombed one time, did okay the second one, and now I'm here.
Right.
And Dick Gregory walks in the room, and like everybody stood up, like it was the president. And I was like, oh, I gotta stand up too.
Right.
Like that's Dick Gregory. Hey Dick. Hey. And he walked in, and he walked up to me, and he was like, "You going up, huh?" I was like, "Yeah." And I stood up and shook his hand, and he shook my hand. He said, "Look, you ain't did a day's work in your life, huh? Huh? Huh?" And I said, yes, sir, I have work." He said, "Gators on your feet." The boy got gators, huh? Huh? Nigga don't know nothing about no comedy. Niggas into fashion. Huh? Huh? I was like, oh man, what a greeting.
Right. What the fuck?
What the fuck did I just get into? What is this? And then I'll never forget, it was a senator in the room with me too. Senator Cleo Fields. He was in there with him. And he, I met him along the way. I just, and you see these people on TV and you see them,
Right. And they're
well spoken and they're right in your face. You know what I mean? These are big time politicians. We're in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Right.
And Cleo walked up to me and he shook my hand. He was like, "You better be funny, nigga." Oh my gosh, Cleo Fields called me a nigga. This is crazy. What is going on tonight?
You're having a great night. Right?
What is going on? 2 civil rights leaders have called me a nigga. Wow. And I go out there, man, and have a great show, man. And after
Wow.
I came out, and I'm looking for Dick Gregory. He's like, "Hey, good job." He just walked in the room and walked out. I was like, I guess that's approval. I guess that's,
There you go, man. Listen, shout out to Dick Gregory, rest in peace.
Yes.
It's so crazy. Like I'm so young. Like I didn't even know Dick Gregory was a
stand-up comedian. Yeah.
I didn't even know he was a comedian
Yeah.
until like years and like listening to his interviews, listening to like his clips on social media and
Yeah.
stuff. and I didn't know he was a comedian because of the work he did
His
after.
his
Yeah, his
activism
activism.
work. Yeah, it kind of overshadowed
Hmm.
his stand up because it became more. He dedicated his life to it.
Hmm.
Comedy was just he just happened to be a funny guy, and he used that tool, to be able to talk about stuff on a bigger stage in regards to his people. So yeah, shout out to Dick Gray. He did it. He did it. He did it the right way.
Hmm.
He did it his way.
Speaking of activism, what do you say to a lot of the nonsense that go on social media or with corporate where they don't give comedians the same license that a comedian has? A
Yeah.
comedian has the license to speak and say things that if you say it in a corporate setting or somewhere else, it'll be frowned upon.
Right.
But when you position it and you make a joke out of something that might have been traumatic or a joke out of something that might have been offensive during a regular conversation, I feel like a lot of people are trying to take that license away, and we got comedians like Dave Chappelle,
Hmm.
people like that who is fighting for that because he's saying what he want to say, no matter who's paying him, what he's getting paid.
Right.
So what do you say as a comedian in the game? Traveling, touring across the world. How do you base your material around? Am I gonna get canceled for this? Is people gonna like this? Or is that even a part of your thought process?
I'm not even thinking about getting canceled. I'm not. I'm just saying the shit.
That's the way it should be
Let me
to
tell you
me.
why. Because the people that's been following me, from my career, they know you've been following me long enough. I don't, and they've been around me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I've been to shows and I've interacted with these people. I don't have that malicious attitude or that malicious material. My material is not gonna beat you across the head. It
Right.
ain't gonna make you. Even if I say something about transgender, say, man, y'all can get it too. Stop bullshitting.
Right.
Y'all can get it to everybody. And nobody takes offense to what I'm saying. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not saying nobody's going to be offended, but normally nobody's going to take offense to it if you kind of know who Delay is.
Yeah.
He doesn't come off like that. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I'm pro dads. You know what I mean? I got two sons,
Mhm.
and a lot of people followed me. They've started following me based on how I was parenting with my sons because I was straight up with my sons. Told my
Yeah.
sons straight up. I would tell them straight up, "Hey man, you came out my balls." That's where you was at the whole time.
Hell no.
Was right. You made it. You made some people didn't make it.
Right.
I was getting up out of here. Some of them, you made it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I would tell, and people would be like, "Man, you really talk to your sons like that?" And people kept seeing me do these videos, and they was like, "I think this dude really talked to his sons like that."
Right.
I think this dude.
I don't think that was a one time.
No, I don't think that's a one-off. I think that dude really say stuff like that to his. Hey man, hey, listen. When you get older, just gonna be honest with you, I'm your daddy. When you get older, girls gonna want to fuck you. I'm 8. That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you now.
Right.
Get
I'm
your mind
preparing
right.
you. I'm mentally.
Get your mind.
getting
I
you
really
ready.
told my sons that, like, cause when I was growing up, I didn't get that talk. I didn't have
Yeah.
no birds in the bee. My
Oh
grandmother
no,
raised
I ain't
me.
had no birds in the bee. I
Birds
got
and
raised
the
by my grandma
bees?
too. Yeah.
Let me tell you how I found out about the birds and bees. Real shit. Dario,
Darion.
that's what I said. I got a speech impediment. Darion, let me tell you what happened. You probably didn't got to talk. I was watching cartoons. I'll never forget. I was watching Smurfs. And right after that, came He-Man. And I'm sitting in the cut, Indian style. Sorry. Whew, shit, can't even say that no more.
Right.
I'm sitting with my legs crossed, like a TP. I don't know. You can't say shit no more. People be getting offended by it. But, if I say Indian style, I mean, you know what I mean. My legs were crossed.
Right.
Give me the updated version of this, the goddamn sitting arrangement. See, I don't know the name of it. So I'm sitting there, and my sister's right there with me. My sister's older than me. And my grandmother, we lived in a 3-bedroom apartment upstairs. It's like 8 of us in the house. And I'm sitting there Saturday morning, and I'm just watching cartoons with my legs crossed. My legs crossed. And my grandmother just walked in the room. "Hey, you fucking?" I said, "No. You better not be, your dick will fall off." And left. I said, where did that even come from? I don't even know what I'm watching no more. What is that?
Right.
It's 8 in the morning.
You ain't had breakfast.
I'm 8. I'm not even thinking about fucking. Why are you asking me that?
Right.
A fuck question at 8? What we doing, Grandma?
Right.
What we doing? But again, that rawness is the reason why my parenting skills is the way it is, but not as harsh and not as brutal. You know what I mean? So back to your question, when it comes to comedy, man, I just speak my truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nothing that I'm saying it'll make you think.
And I think, with the whole
But it's not hurtful.
with the whole cancel culture, I think comedy is the last genre that they're trying to pierce,
Right.
but that shit ain't working
Right.
because the more they try to, the more they make the comedians who stand strong
Right.
on what they believe in, and 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 when I say what they believe in, they don't believe in divisive content, but it's
Mhm.
more so if this is a good joke and this is I'm the only profession as a comedian,
Right.
y'all are the only ones that have the license to do this.
Mhm.
So if you take the license from y'all, then where do we go as a profession? And people go like I go to comedy shows. I sit in the front, and I know if they roast the hell out of me in the front, I chose to sit up there. So
Right.
you gotta know what you're getting yourself into. And a lot of these people are just like you said, they're trying to be offended. Like
They don't. They listen. You come into a comedy show. Somebody may say something to you that's on stage. I
Mhm.
don't care where you're at in the audience. Now let me tell you how times have changed. I'm at club culture. I'm a new comedian. I don't really know how to handle the improv and with the crowd with tact.
right.
I'm just attacking you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Hey, look at you. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Right, right, right.
Just some new comic shit.
Mm-hmm.
No finesse, no flair with it. Just attack. So I'm in the audience. I'm on stage one night, and I'm a new comic, and it's a girl in the audience with blue hair, stacked up. I said, "Oh my God, bam! I'm about to get." I see her out my peripheral, but I'm like, "I'm gonna save you, goddamn it! I'm coming back for your ass." And I'm going around, and it was a guy that used to be in there. He would come every Monday. He would never wear socks. I don't know why the dude didn't wear no goddamn socks, but he never wore socks. He just sit in there, and he would sit with his legs wide open so I could see that he don't have no damn socks.
Right.
At least tuck your ankles so I don't see the socks.
Right, right,
Nope, he don't care. But I would ride him every Monday. He would say nothing. I would call him I nicknamed him Lil Down South.
right.
So the whole crowd would call him Lil Down South. When I say the whole crowd, I mean all five, because it still ain't really getting packed yet.
Right, right, right.
So hitting him with a couple of jokes, and I go over to the girl with the blue hair. I'm like, yeah, oh my God, ma'am, what kind of hairstyle is that? And she was like, one you ain't got. She on her,
Yeah, yeah.
one you ain't got. I was like, well, what did you tell the beautician when you sat in that chair? But put two Smurfs on my shit, right? I'm just hitting it, just raw. Just didn't try to finesse it at all.
Right.
And I keep going. God damn. Where the rest of the Smurfs at? I won't stop.
Right,
I'm
right,
still
right.
going. I know Papa Smurf got to be looking for y'all.
Right,
I mean,
right.
it's way past your bit.
Tearing her up.
I'm going. Now, while I'm going, I'm not really looking at her.
Right.
I'm over here. Yada, yada, yada. But on my peripheral, I could see her cocking a beer bottle. I was like, what the fuck is she cocking over there? By the time I turn, the bottle is coming, and it grazes my face. I was like, hey, man, what the hell was that? Don't talk about my hair. I'm looking at Olu, done ready. Go with this show. Go, go, go. I'm like, man, she threw a bottle. Buy another beer. Go. Bro, I leave out of there, and Lil Down South comes up to me. The guy who I mess with every Monday. He said, hey, man, listen, I think you're gonna be all right in comedy, but you're gonna have to learn a different way to present it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you talk about my ankles every Monday, man. I still come and support you. Every Monday you talk about my ankles. Now, you're gonna have to find another way to present comedy. Because if you keep doing it this way, somebody gonna kill you, little nigga.
That was gonna be my. That was gonna
Swear
be
to
my.
God, he told me that.
That was gonna be my question because, like, as a comedian for 20 years, like a lot of the stuff that happened, like people throwing stuff at you, people swinging on other comedians and stuff. Like now, it's out there. You got the situation with Chris Rock.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Dave Chappelle situation. Um, what do you like? What do you do as a comedian to protect yourself from that happening? Because, like you said, you going out there, you picking with people on the crowd, shit can go down. I
Right.
forgot who it was. Oh no, it was Cat Williams.
Mm-hmm.
He got slapped. I'm from Detroit. He got slapped in Detroit. Like he was,
Somebody slapped him on stage?
hell yeah, somebody slapped Cat Williams in Detroit because. And Cat Williams, he's like one of my favorite comedians, but like he was up there talking his shit, Detroit player sitting down, like, man, all right, Cat, all right, Cat, all right, Cat. And about the sixth joke, I mean, he went up there and slapped him. Like, and that didn't get put on social media.
All right.
So that was one of those things that, it breezed through the media. But like the Chris Rock thing was on national. I'm
The
talking about
Oscars.
the Oscars,
Hmm.
right? So what the hell does a comedian
I
do?
mean, what Chris Rock did is the way that you should handle it. I'm not saying I would have handled it that way,
Yeah,
but
I
I mean, I
wouldn't
think
have handled
that's the
that shit
way.
like that either.
You know what I mean? I think like that was just classy, bro, for him to just pull it together and say, you know what, I'm gonna still deliver this and deliver what I'm supposed to be doing. Bam, hit the mark and get off. Like that was classy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's all I can say about that. Like, that's just a classy move.
Yeah, I mean that's me. I'm from the hood. Like
Hmm.
I would have fucked the whole Oscars up. I ain't gonna lie. Like
Right.
I would have. It would have been they would have probably banned all black people from Oscars fucking with me because
Hashtag Oscar so
yeah,
niggerish.
I would have tore the Oscars down. I'm sorry, I would have lost all my endorsements, whatever.
Yeah.
I would have got endorsed by the UFC after that because bro, I I salute Chris Rock. He got
Yeah.
paid. He got the Netflix bag or whatever. So I mean, shout out to Chris Rock for being a stand up professional.
Hmm.
When every ounce of hood would have came out of me because and I'm not a confrontational type of person.
Right.
Like I'm not saying I'm the toughest dude or I would have did this and I would have rolled around but if somebody's coming up to me, for one, you saw it coming. Like you see somebody walking from here to there. So it's like one of those situations. But um another thing I wanted to talk to you about is, you have been like you said, you were stand up funny
Hmm.
before social media hit, right? So one of the comedians, his name is Haha Davis.
Hmm.
He's from Detroit also. Um he talked about it openly, like trying to do his skits that he do on social media
On stage.
on stage and getting booed the fuck up, like bombing terrible, and he had to go. I think he consulted with I think it was Mike Epps or one of the the comedians.
Hmm.
Um, but how did you how did you figure out the stand? How did you figure out to be stand up funny
Right.
and social media and build a following on social media, because it's really hard.
Yeah. Both lanes are hard. Like to create, a following on social media, that's hard. To work your material on stage from absolutely nothing and nurture that material into something, that is hard. So both lanes are respected. Um, with stand up, like I said, there's no, you can't cheat it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You're gonna have to hit that stage.
that's what I love about it
Hey
too.
man, if you're not funny, we gonna know.
I respect the hell out of comedians,
You
bro.
can't trick me into thinking you funny for an hour,
Mm-mm,
30 minutes,
mm-mm.
20 minutes. You can't do it. So it's you got to be vulnerable. You know what I mean? You have to be able to expose a layer of yourself that you probably wouldn't have.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? But I hit the stage a lot. And when social media came, I was like, man, let me figure this out. You know what I mean? I started hanging around with some of the King Kieran, a buddy of mine.
Yeah. Okay.
Start hanging. He started showing me a few things.
Hmm.
I'm like, oh, okay, this is how this goes, bam, and start meeting different influencers, and just started pushing videos on my own.
And you found your own lane.
Found my lane, and
Mhm.
and each year or so, I'm recreating my page.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? When you first saw me, I was doing haircut videos. People
Yeah.
would see me doing the take it in videos,
Hmm.
and then after that, I was combining that with my sons. Me and my sons doing different stuff. My
Right.
sons asking me different questions. I'm glad you asked. And now it's reaction videos, and
Mhm.
I just keep constantly putting myself in different lanes to show the audience, hey, I can actually do more than one thing. I can write, I can produce, I can act,
Hmm.
motivational speak. I can do a lot of different, wear a lot of different hats. But you have to. You
Hmm.
have to be a jack of all trades nowadays.
How do you balance being a stand up comedian and also being a father and being a good family member? You around your family or a friend, and do people come up to you and tell you, let's make a joke, or
I
be
hate it.
funny, or do this?
I hate.
How you deal
They
with
used
that
to.
shit?
They used to, but more it's like I think people are starting to respect the space.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't go up to a porn star and be like, hey, I seen your work. Do something.
Right, make it clap right here.
Do
Like,
something
what's
right
up?
now. Do something for my man right there. He's good with tech. Do something with it. Um, I don't normally get that, but if I do, I'm not rude to people.
Yeah.
I'm not a mean person. You know what I mean? And then don't confuse that with weakness.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like if somebody says to me, I always try to exhibit conflict resolution.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Before I go there. Um, but when it comes to, a fan, like I know they don't mean any harm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've never turned anybody down for a picture. I've never, you know what I mean? Because I just feel like it costs me nothing to be nice to this person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it might ruin somebody day. I realized that with like my platform, and mine's being more so business focused, so people respect it a
Hmm.
little different. But you never know who knows you.
Right.
So when somebody's staring at you before this, I just be like, I'm from the hood, so I'm like,
Right. What are you looking at?
what the fuck he looking at? Like, what's going on? But now I'm like, he
Oh,
pr-
he probably knows
he
me from
know me
XYZ.
he know me from XYZ, and
Yeah.
sometimes I just say, what's up, dude, like, and he'd be, oh my god, I follow you on Instagram, and then
Yeah.
they'll break down, especially dudes. Women are like, they'll walk up to you like, hey, what's going on or whatever,
Right.
but dudes be, I
Maybe-
know who that, and then later on hit you in the DM,
I
bro,
saw you at.
was that
Hey,
you at the
let me tell you what happened to me recently. I was, I forgot what city I was in, but I was going in the bathroom.
Hmm.
And I walked to the bathroom, and it was a Puerto Rican guy. And
Hmm.
he was washing this, he was drying his hands, and he was like, hey, hey, I know you. I was like, hey, what's up, brother? How you doing?
Hmm.
Hey, man, I watch your stuff all the time. I was like, thank you, man. So I go over to the urinal, and I'm pissing. I'm taking a piss.
Right.
And I hear him say, you got to see him. You know who that guy is? And he was like, no. He brings his son in there while I'm pissing. Hey, man, this is my son. I'm like, hey, man, I got my dick in my hand. How
Like,
about that?
right, chill, right?
But again, I ain't rude, but I know what it meant. He don't know when he's gonna see me again. He's just reacting. He ain't thinking that it's
Right.
anything wrong with what he's doing. He's just saying, "Hey man, this is my son." I just looked over at the son. I'm looking at the son like, "Son, don't know who the hell I am."
Right.
I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" But I didn't take any offense to that. You know what I mean? Everybody's different. I just choose to find a good way to get out of things without saying, "Hey man, you respect my motherfucking space." I don't. That's too
Yeah,
much for me.
I think you can react in that way. You can always put people in a bad space, because with us being known and people know us, we're always in the wrong. If it's an argument, somebody can be dead fucking wrong walking up to you in your car with you and your kids, and if you say something or if you knock them out or whatever, people gonna find a way to blame you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he should have had his security do it. Like, why he do it? Or
Right.
this person pays your bills, or this person is the reason you're successful and all of that shit. So it is a transition. I mean, it's new to me. Like,
Right.
it's brand new to me, because like I came up on the whole social media thing. Like, people didn't know me before Instagram or
Hmm.
whatever. So it's a little weird, and you don't really know who knows you. So it's one of those things where you have to adapt to, and then it's
Yeah.
like everybody got a camera phone. So you don't want to get hype and say the wrong thing or do this, because your ass gonna end up on all the blogs, and it's gonna be a narrative pushed out there that you necessarily don't agree with.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
I don't even like to fall asleep on the plane because somebody gonna catch me.
hmm
Call delay slipping, man. I'm on a plane. I'm supposed to be asleep right here. This ain't you didn't catch me slipping. I'm
right,
sleeping for real. I went to sleep. I got a neck pillow.
right,
I came to go to sleep. You didn't get me. Got it slipping. People don't respect because everything is content for people,
yes,
and some people they relish in getting off on other people.
hmm
You know what I mean? Just
making
getting off.
fun of, right,
Like I said, what I was talking about having to rebrand myself and change up the way I put out content. I used to do these videos, come get this nigga videos.
hmm
And these were just videos I would say with any time I would see somebody doing something ridiculous, I would react to it.
you're right,
And they became really popular.
hmm
Come get this nigga was on fire. I had merchandise. I wasn't even thinking about it. The pandemic going on. I'm on fire.
right,
I got come get this nigga hoodies. I got come get these niggas hats, skull cats, tank top,
right,
everything. It's a damn thing.
hmm
Cut two, we come out of pandemic. The world is open again. I'm in the airport on the escalator. I pass, you pass people on the escalator.
yeah,
I see this dude. He's like, I hear, hey. I don't turn around. I keep going. So I'm almost at the end. I turn. Man, I thought that was you. Now at this point, we way from each other.
right,
Hey, God, come get this nigga. We in the airport.
right. So
Hey,
people
come
on
get
point.
this nigga. Everybody's
TSA.
like, what is going on? I'm like, man, you can't say that. But again, people only know how they, what they see you doing on social media.
hmm
They just responding to what they see.
Right.
It's no harm, no foul. You say it on your videos all the time. What you tripping for? Because I see it to you in the airport, out loud in front of white people.
It's always funny, man. I love having people who have a good sense of humor, because when I
Hmm.
see a lot of things that be trending, I say a lot of stuff offline that I'm like, damn, I would never say this online,
Right,
because people don't see me as who I am. Like,
right.
meaning, like, I'm a chill dude, I'm funny as hell. Like, people see me as this serious business guy that's always studying and reading, and which is,
Yes.
it could be good, because I am serious about my business and stuff like that. But like, when I be seeing a lot of this shit, man, I just be cracking so many
Can
jokes,
I
man.
have a moment of clarity and honesty
Yeah.
in front of everybody? I thought you was a preacher when I first met you. I thought this nigga was a preacher. I really,
A lot of people feel
I
that way.
said, I don't know what church he go to. I got to figure out because I'm like, people they'll deliver their ministry through different things.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, he's talking about finances, but that's what they do in church. They talk about the
Right,
finance.
right, right, right,
This man run a church. I got to figure out what church he's a part of and who he's gonna be fellowshipping with this Wednesday. This come to find out, this man is not. I thought you were. I really did.
No, a lot of people had that perception of me, because they don't really know me. Like, they
Right.
don't hang around, they don't hang with me. Um and that could be good and that can be bad, cuz
Hmm.
sometimes, like people don't invite me to certain stuff because they be like, "Oh, I didn't think you were into that." And
Right.
like, I don't drink or smoke. And I'm not the type of person that's going to be very judgmental about people who drink or smoke. I went through that when I was real young, like 19, 20, and I just was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I'm judging this girl because she in college and she want to have a drink and she want to smoke. Like,
Right.
I'm not about to marry this chick. Like, what am I doing? Like, I'm
Right. Right.
ruining my college experience because
Right.
she want to have fun, and I'm ruining my damn fun, right?
Right.
So, I did have that transition, but I'm a serious person, but I'm also a very laid back, chill type person. I know how to cut it on, and usually the problem is a lot of people don't know how to be very serious about their business and then
Right.
chill and have a beer and crack some jokes. And I do, which weirds a lot of people out, because people are expecting me, like you said, to be, you know,
This quiet conservative
quiet,
guy.
conservative,
Yeah.
reading the Bible, like,
Right.
type of dude. And I'm a chill dude. But when it's time to get the business and the money and all of that, I am serious about that, because I'm not the type of person who's going to get taken advantage of and shit like that. So I got I got two personalities, one online and one in person, and it's hard to blend the two, because if I get online and I start talking about my life,
They're like, right.
motherfuckers be, no, talk about that
Talk about
business,
the
man.
business. We won't hear
Help,
shit about you.
yeah, help me
Tell us
get
how
an
to get the money.
LLC,
Right.
help me get the money, and I pigeonholed myself into that, which is good, and I mean, because I make money off it, so I'm not complaining. But that's not the first time somebody done said
Yeah.
that I didn't think you was this type of dude.
I called you Pastor Hill for the first few times. Like, I said, yeah, I'm going to meet with Pastor Hill. I told my wife, where you going? I said, I'm about to go over to meet with the pastor here at the bar. She said, why'd you take him to a bar? I said, you know how pastors be backsliding and shit. I just want to see if I'm going to get him a drink. And he didn't drink. And I was like, oh, he's definitely a pastor.
No,
He's definitely a pastor. He's definitely a pastor.
no, man, I'm far from a pastor, man. I'm
Right.
not a perfect.
My
dude.
daddy's a pastor, by the way.
I'm not a perfect dude. I mean, I grew up in the church or whatever, but I'm not a.
I don't
perfect
know what
dude.
church he preach at, but they just tell me that the nigga preaches. I don't.
He, he just like me.
Maybe just like you. Maybe
He got a separate life that you don't know about, right?
Right.
But yeah, I'm not that type of dude, man. I'm not like I'm telling you, I used to be one of those dudes that used to try to convince everybody to be as serious about business and shit as me.
You look like that friend everybody out there playing. Brothers, what y'all need to do is get in this playhouse that I just built
Yeah, yeah.
for the financing of the future of yourselves. You need to work on that. I built a playhouse by myself. Now we're going to be
I
holding
was like
church on
that.
Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays in the playhouse.
I was like that for probably about 6 months in college, because
Preaching to people.
I had a situation where my dumb ass, I had a girlfriend that wasn't in school yet. She was a year younger than me. So my first year in college,
I did that too.
I'm still dating her.
She in high school.
And
You're a freshman.
Right, right. So
That shit never works.
that shit never worked.
Right.
So right before, like the day before college came, for her, she quit. She was like, "Oh, I'm not going to school." So I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like, whatever. But I was hanging out with her the whole summer,
Right.
and I ain't had my paperwork right with my with all my with my classes And all of this because I'm not checking my email at all.
Every nigga that show up on campus with a backpack that ain't enrolled say the same shit
Yeah,
every year.
I didn't-
Man, what happened? Man, they fucked up my paperwork.
Man.
Every time you look around, they got the paperwork that's fucked up. I went to the admissions office, asked about the paperwork. They didn't have my paperwork last semester.
That literally,
So I'm on campus again with a backpack and no classes.
that literally what happened. They dropped all my classes and shit, and I'm from the D, man. So my dad is just a straightforward dude. I told him like, look, man, I ain't got my classes, I ain't got this. So he like, shit, what you gonna do?
Right.
I mean, you gonna come back to the hood with us? Like, you gonna do that? And I'm like, nah. So he like, figure it out. Hung up on me. So I'm like, all right, fuck, what I'm gonna do? So me being the player I am, I goes to the gym. It's some chick in there. I had a class with her last semester, so I'm running some game to her. Like, what you doing tonight? Nothing. I'm chilling. You gonna come over? I'm like, oh hell yeah. Like, she think I'm over there trying to hit it.
Right.
I'm over there trying to get a place to stay.
I need to stay with you, man. I need you for lodging.
I didn't lost all my goddamn housing, my classes, and all that. And it took me about a week to get the classes back, but I couldn't get the housing. So I started staying with one of my homeboys' girlfriend, and
Wait a minute.
well, hold on.
Wait a damn minute.
It
homeboy's girlfriend.
It was like 4 of them in a suite, and I was staying on their couch. He was there with me, so it ain't
Okay, just checking.
it ain't like I'm backdooring him or whatever. But she had a roommate that was kind of into me, and I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna fuck this up, because every time you try to slide on something,
right,
she get mad at you. She could put you out. So I'm like, nah. But those 6 months of my life made me very, very serious, because I was this playful, just the regular dude I am, and I got real serious because it's like I got damn near bit by a snake, because like I had this good situation going on with my life in college, good relationship, and in 24 hours I'm sleeping on somebody's couch, my girl then left me, all of this other dumb shit, and I'm like, man, I really need to get my life together. So for that 6 months, I was a really serious, had 3 jobs, read books all the time, like not partying, not doing nothing. Or I'm in the party. Or I'm in the party
reading a
thinking
book
about, I need to be studying for this, and I'm not gonna be successful.
You're there, but you're not there.
I'm there, but I'm not there. And then it took this one chick in college. She was just like, lighten up, man. Like, you in college. What the fuck wrong with you? Like, what? And I just was like,
she had to check him.
I'm like, damn, man, she actually right, man.
Right.
Like, I need to lighten up. So, I still don't smoke. I got to drink here and there. But that perception.
How about your beard? Didn't touch it. Didn't touch the whole goddamn beard. I watched him the whole time.
I owe you for that,
he
man.
Grabbed it. He grabbed it a few times. He's this dude, yeah. So basically what we're trying to do is make sure that we have everything in order with your LLC. And once we get you the EIN number after that, then definitely we'll be able to. But have you got the right address to match up with the social? Because I want to make sure that the social and the EIN line up so we can get everything together, man. Thanks for the drink, man. This is a great drink.
Yeah,
like you ain't
man,
drank shit.
I owe you a drink.
Hey, man, when he left, I was looking at the bartender. He was like, he didn't touch it. I said, I know. I was wondering if he was going to drink it. He said, why you think he didn't drink it? I said, he's a pastor. I know why he didn't drink the shit. That's exactly why I didn't drink it.
No, man, I'm not like that, man. But I wanna jump back into your story and what you have going on. I know you have different projects that you want to go and take it direct to consumer. So talk about the creative process and being in control behind the camera and being a part of that creative process to make a project come to fruition.
I'm one of those things. I'm a Virgo, man. I'm a go-getter. I believe in just making things happen. If I know how to write it, if I know what funny is, if I know the people, I have the resources, then what am I waiting on?
Right.
What am I waiting on? That doesn't make any sense. And the problem with most creators, they'll create something, and on the midway through creating it, they'll be like, oh my gosh, I hope it's good enough to get picked up. I hope somebody pick it up. I really want somebody to pick it up. Let me tell you something, James Hill. This is how I feel about what I do. I don't worry about who's gonna pick it up. My audience is going to pick it up when I drop it on them.
Facts.
You understand me? Because that's who I'm doing it for. But I only have 1,000 followers. Give it to them.
Right.
Feed them. You worried about feeding people that don't exist.
Yes.
Feed the people that's at the table right now. More will come.
Yes.
That's my take on it. Yeah. So with that, man, I'm shooting some web series. I guess if I don't sell them, bam, I'm just dropping them right there for the people, to have. And then sometimes, things like that get picked up and recreated and reshot again. So with that, my stand-up comedy. I'm not waiting on somebody. Hey, somebody need to give Netflix need to give you a special. That's a beautiful thing. If you're in a position for Netflix to give you a special, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
But if you have an audience, just drop it for your
Yeah, you
audience.
know what? Like I love again, like I said, I respect the hell out of the profession of comedians because at one point I wanted to be one, and I still look at it as something that, you know, you can't fake it. It's like being an athlete. Like, yeah, you can come from a rich family, but bro, like you can't fake that you gonna go. You know, you can't fake that you're a quarterback or that you're a
Right.
point guard or whatever. That
Michael
takes that.
Jordan's son.
That takes the work. Exactly. Jordan's son ain't, you know, he ain't shit on the court.
We calling him Michael Jordan's son.
Exactly.
We not even calling him by his name.
And shout out to LeBron's son. His son is actually really,
Ronnie.
really good.
Good, right.
But like even like
That was a big shoes to fill. Either way, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm glad my daddy is just a local pastor. You know what I mean? I can beat that. I can beat the shit out of the local
even
pastor.
with like Monique was one of my like she is one of my favorite comedians, especially female comedians. And the whole lawsuit against Netflix because they offered her 500,000. To me as an entrepreneur, I didn't get it because I'm like, well, Monique, you got like you're a legend. Like, why don't you just charge people $30, $25 on your own website and make 500,000, make
See,
half a million?
Let me tell you why. That's the new way of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
These are old school comedians who are used to getting deals and holding deals. And back in the day, you got a Showtime special. And back in the day, you got an HBO special. So they're used to things being given to them.
Yeah.
They're not used to saying, hey, listen, I'm going to just take my fan base and just whatever I want to produce, I steadily feed. They're not there.
I don't.
That's our old school mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Man, listen, you have 1 million people who love and adore you, over 1 million.
Mm-hmm.
Sell them something.
Yes. Or like, why don't comedians just go like book a venue with their own money, sell tickets with their social media, record it? I mean, we all got access to 4K cameras, red cameras, whatever. You can record this shit yourself. It doesn't cost you that much. Package it and sell it to people, and the people who are there actually can experience it live. But the people who follow you and they stay in California and they couldn't get to Atlanta, or they stay in Texas, or they stay in Detroit or New York, like just sell it to them for $20, $30. They sit at home with their spouse and they watch it. It's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah.
Like I didn't really understand it. I understood what she meant by they're lowballing her because she's a legend. Of course I understood that. I didn't understand, like, because I do events myself, why the hell you can't just get on Instagram Live and say, hey, this is James Hill. I tried to get a Netflix deal. They offered me this. I know I'm worth more than that. Here's what I'm going to do. Damn, Netflix, we're going up to this, this
XYZ theater.
This venue theater up
Right.
the road. It cost me $15,000, $20,000 to put up. I'm only going to charge you guys $40, $50, $100 to get in. We're going to have food. We're going to have liquor. We're going to have these 4 other comedians come in. And I'm going to film my own special. And guess what? The people who can't make it to Atlanta, or they can't make it to Detroit or whatever, I'm going to stream it for them. And I might make $500,000. I might make $2 million. I might make $3 million. Or Netflix might see it and say, damn, this was good. Let me
And you
buy
own it.
Let me buy it from you. Or now I can go license this to other people. So I honestly don't get it. I understand like what you're saying with a lot of people are traditional, and if shit always been this way, it's harder for them to adapt it, and it's easier for a comedian who ain't legendary to come up and build an audience online and go sell their special to their followers, because that's literally all they got.
Yeah.
They not even in the Netflix negotiations. So I think it's just a new way of like you said, it's a new way of thinking.
Yeah.
And I applaud you for not sitting around waiting on somebody, because you have millions of people who support you. And because like when I showed, like my sister, she watched your shit all the time.
Oh, really?
And I didn't tell her that I was gonna do this. She's up back in Detroit, so I'm gonna just take a picture with you and just send it to her. She gonna be like, "What the hell you made me do?" Like, cause she share your stuff all the time. She's just a regular family woman. Like she don't be on social media clout chasing. So she's not like somebody who's into the whole social media thing.
Right.
And she loves your content. She shares it all the time.
Dope.
And I'ma take a picture with you and show, like, look,
That's dope.
you know what I'm saying? I met the guy.
She's in
like,
Detroit?
Yeah, she's back in the D.
I'll be going back there
So
soon to
so
perform. So
so it's comedians and just influencers in general don't really know how much impact they have. Remember our first conversation, we was talking about this. You don't really know how much impact you have or clout or whatever or reach until you sell your own product
hmm
or you produce your own product. So whatever you got going on, man, send it over to me. We're gonna post it up. We're gonna share it.
yes,
We want people to tap into what you're doing. I'm gonna watch it. Me and my girl gonna watch it, like, because at the end of the day, I support independence.
hmm
I hate these rappers and these motherfuckers who have a big following and they complain about the record label not doing this and that, and I just be
that's
like,
crazy to me. It's so, bro, James. That is, it's. I totally agree with you. What are you complaining? Okay, buy yourself out of the deal.
mm-hmm,
If you got enough bread, buy yourself out of the deal. If you can't, do your time in the deal. When you come back out, hey, listen, part ways with them. See if you can get whatever masses, if they're even worth anything,
right,
and then just work from what you have as far as your audience.
mm-hmm,
I totally get it, and I'm like, I don't know why they're sitting there with, man, they're messing over me. Okay, cool, and they might be,
yep.
but when that deal is up, but it's hard. It's independency is hard,
And I
man.
think I think it's an ego thing too, because me and my friend was having a debate about, and then we put this on social media. Like, would you? We was talking to women. Like, would you rather date a plumber who makes 200,000 or a lawyer that's known but only makes 100,000? And a lot of people were saying like, oh, I date the plumber, but I don't think they would, because a lot of people like fame
hmm
and clout more than money. I was like, I always been a money guy. Like, I want to make money,
Right.
but when I got into this industry, I didn't realize that more people like fame. They would rather have fame than money.
Then the bread, right?
And a lot of people, because you can make the same amount of money independent as you can make with some of these deals, but more, it's the whole, I got a deal from Netflix or I got a deal from this person
Right.
that gives them the clout. You might not get a lot of clout if you make 500,000 from your own web series. You
Right.
might not get the clout, but you're gonna get the clout from being on Amazon Prime or Netflix or whatever. So I realized that a lot of people would rather take less money but had these big names attached to them, thinking that it's gonna parlay into something else, and it never,
It never does,
it
bro.
rarely,
It rarely
rarely,
does, right?
rarely does.
It rarely
It
does.
rarely works out. So, your project, tell us a little more about it. When can people expect it?
Mm.
And what can people expect? Give people a kind of a peek into everything.
I got a couple of things, man. I got a bunch of stuff in the oven. I just finished my audio book.
Okay.
From my book, wrote a book, Delay the Journey Behind the Smile. Where I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
about my life. It's not your traditional comedian's book.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's right. No, it's a deep book. It's a deep dive into my life as
I
a
love
kid,
it.
as a teenager, as an adult. It's taking you through my trials. It's taking you through me jumping into the comedy lane, how I started. It's a whole roller coaster of emotions that people go through. So when I did the audio book, I wanted to be I wanted it to be authentic. I wanted it to be my
Yeah.
voice. I wanted it to be something different. So I made it like a movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? When I'm talking on the audiobook, it's like, you hear the stories, it's like I'm walking you through this TV show,
Right.
this dramatic TV show, this dramedy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's sound effects in the background, cars moving, and me delivering the story. So instead of having like the boring audiobook as you ride down the highways and listen to the life of Delay, comedian, author, as boring. Get that shit out of here. I wanted to spice it up.
Right.
So I did that, and that's available on my website. It's delay.com.
Mm-hmm.
But the TV show Ephraim that me and my partner wrote, Ephraim is a character that's in my family. He's a fast talking guy. He's always into some different things.
Mm-hmm.
Never has a steady job, uh, but he's always in some fly shit. He's always making moves.
Right.
And it's a guy. This the first season. I've got 2 seasons already written. 1 season already shot. The first season he gets locked up.
Mm-hmm.
He's in jail for a Ponzi scheme. Uh, a black man with a Ponzi scheme, but it's not your traditional Ponzi scheme. He's selling herbs.
Mm-hmm.
He's selling these herbs, but he gets caught up. He goes to jail. So these different people. So I have different guest appearances of people coming to visit me in jail.
Mm-hmm.
Flashbacks of his life. It's a fun ass storyline, and
Mhm.
it just keeps going. And I think once I drop it, I'm gonna drop the trailer first. I'm
Okay.
gonna drop it next month.
Okay.
I may drop it 4th of July, around that time, but I'll drop the trailer to get people interested in it, and I'm gonna treat it just like it's a network picked it up.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna run commercials for it. I'm gonna make sure that people are aware that this thing is dropping, and I'm gonna drop it once a week.
Mhm.
I'm gonna drop it once a week,
I
and every
love it.
now and then I'll drop. And every now and then I'll drop you a bonus episode.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have it cooking every week, and I love it, man, because I get to pick the people that I want to work with.
Yeah.
I get to say, "Hey, James, what you doing this week? Hey, man, come over here and play a pastor."
Hey, man.
You know what I mean? Get over here.
I was just about to say that. I was about to say, listen, if you need some
I was about to say,
serious,
absolutely.
if you need a banker or
Yes.
somebody like
I-
some,
Hey,
I'm
man,
with
listen,
it, bro. I'm
I
with
promise you, and I'm gonna say it on camera so you can see that I'm a man of my word. I said I was coming to do your podcast when we talked about it. I just like to be a man of my word. I want to say it and I want to do it. I'm going to have you. I'm going to have you on season 2 of it, and we're starting to film it already.
Okay.
And I think I got an idea. I think I want you to play a banker.
Okay, let's do it.
That was an ex-pastor.
Let's do it.
That was an ex-pastor. I think that'll work.
Let's do
I
it,
think
man.
that'll work,
Listen,
so.
hey, listen, my acting debut. Actually, I got a movie.
Oh shit! Give us the backstory.
I got a movie that I was doing in college. I was playing a role. If the people who own that footage, like I probably was terrible, but like I got. Let me tell you how I got finessed. It was this and I never really told this story public, but I'm gonna share how I got finessed. So basically, it was this acting like agency, right? It was you know how you
I already know this agency. I already know where he's going with this.
listen.
You've got the look. You have got the. Are you represented? You're like, no, you're not represented. No.
Let me
Here, come here at 8 o'clock. Have on your. You have a parent. Are you gonna? You good. You need $1,000. Come with $1,000.
let me show you. Let me tell you how I got finessed. So look, I was 18. I was broke. I didn't know if I was gonna go to college yet, so I didn't go to college straight out. Like I waited a semester, so I was just working at a plant. And I was just trying to figure my life out. Like I said, the stand up comedian is what I was going
Aspiring to do, right.
aspiring to do. And right after I graduated from high school, like 2-3 months, that's when that shit happened with my
Go
best
boys,
friend.
right.
So I'm like, damn, I'm kind of lost. I don't know what I want to do. I'm like, well, I'm an act. So I'm like, okay, how do you act? And I just Googled like, how do you get into acting?
Mm-hmm.
And it was this bullshit video of some white woman saying, well, you got to join an agency, and you know how your phones are tracked. And she was
Right.
like, just so happened. My agency is in Royal Oak, Michigan, and I'm like from Detroit, which is up the street.
That's
I'm like,
God.
it's God. Oh my God.
I'm supposed to be Denzel.
I'm like, oh my God, like what the fuck? And I didn't really understand. I'm like 17, 18 at this time. I didn't understand that your phone is tracking you. Right. This is an ad. Like I didn't know this. So I'm
Right.
just thinking like, oh shit, like maybe I'm destined to do this. So I go there. It's a lot of kids, it's white people, black people, Indian. It's very diverse, right? So I'm in there. And at first they was acting like they ain't want me. They're like, nah, you ain't, whatever.
Right.
So, which made me want it more.
Absolutely.
And then the lady pulled me in the room, and it's funny you said this. The lady pulled me in the room and was like, do you have somebody representing you? Do you have this? Do you have a reel? I didn't know what a reel is.
Right.
Do you have this? Do you have photos? And I'm like, no, I don't have any of that. And she like, all right, what we're gonna do, we're gonna get all of that for you. All you have to do is sign up for this, that, and the third. So I signed all these papers, right?
Signing his life.
Man, I
away.
signed all these motherfucking papers, and then she was like, "Oh, there's an
Fee.
agency fee."
Yeah, it's an agency fee.
So I'm like, "Oh, okay." She like, "Oh, it's $4.95. Do you have $4.95?" I'm like, and then I was just watching this motivational speaker. His name is Eric Thomas. You gotta invest in
He the hip hop
yourself.
preacher, right?
You gotta invest in yourself. You ain't gonna be shit if you don't invest in yourself. So I'm like, damn, man, I had just got paid. I had like $1,300. I'm like, I'm gonna invest in myself. So I gave these motherfuckers $495 on my card. They took it out my bank account.
Oh yeah, right away.
And then the next day, the lady said, "Come up there," and I goes up there, and she said, "Oh, where's your acting reel? Like, where's this?
Where's your
that?
headshot?
Where's your headshot?" And I'm like, "Oh, I said I don't have that. Y'all said y'all was going." She was like, "Oh, well, we have to deny your application if you don't have that. We have to deny your application." I said, "What the fuck? No, I just paid you $495. I didn't know about you can go dispute it with your bank. I didn't know nothing
Let
about
him have
it.
it. Let him have it. Go
So
call
I'm
your
just
bank.
like, damn, all right, whatever. So I come back the next day and I'm like, okay, I went and got my hair cut. This is for the photo shoot. So she's like, oh, to use our photographers and
It's gonna be
videographers,
right.
it's another 1,500. And I'm like, God damn. So I go to work and I'm about to pay for this again. And I heard somebody in the room going off on them. So I'm like, what the fuck they going off on them? So they storm out and went to their car. So when I go to the car, I went on and asked the guy. It was a white dude. I'm like, what's going on? Like, what's wrong? And he was like, I paid these fuckers $1,500. I'm $2,000. They ripped me off. And I'm like, oh, I'm about to go in there and pay them $1,500. What happened? So he basically said he paid the $1,500. They shot the photo and took the pictures. And they was like, okay, now where's your acting reel? He was like, well, that's what I just paid the $1,500 for. He was like, no, those are the photos. That's for photography. This is for videography. It's another $2,500. So
Tearing y'all asses out
man,
the
they
frame.
finessing, bro. So they only got me for the $495. I just walked out, and
Right.
I actually did get somebody who called me from the from working with them, because the lady just kept banging my line. She was like, actually, I'm gonna get you set up with this independent film company, and it was just somebody with just a regular camera. They was shooting on bullshit
They full of
iPhones.
shit.
They was full of shit. Yeah, and I shot like, it was like three parts of the movie, three scenes. I
Right.
shot like three scenes, and then I just was like, fuck y'all. I just went to college, and
Yeah, they will
that
finesse you.
that footage is somewhere out there. They probably don't even know I'm popping now. So soon, right? Once I make the news that it's successful, then
Right.
they gonna
They
drop
gonna
that
drop
shit
it. You gonna
and
drop
make
it.
some money
We
off
knew
me,
him
man.
before that.
Yeah, but I did have I got finessed out of wanting to be an actor and wanting
Yeah.
to be in entertainment, and I hope that story helps a lot of
It will.
kids who
It
probably
will.
watch
You hear modeling agencies when they say, "Hey, we have a fee," you get your ass out of there right away. You tear up that bullshit contract that you just signed, and you run, because ain't no agency finna charge me $495 and ain't did
I
nothing.
mean, and this is 12 years ago though.
Oh
So
yeah, they
this
was
is
getting,
this
but they was getting a lot of people.
yeah, this ain't 495. Like that was that they shit probably like 2,000 now. Like they fee probably like a lot more, but 495 when I was 17 was a shit ton
Yeah,
of
that's a
money.
lot of money.
That's a lot of money, man. So I thought I was investing in myself, and I learned a tough lesson. And I hope they ain't getting nobody out there, but
Oh,
they
they still
probably
getting them.
still open.
Oh, they tearing their asses out the frame because they know what to say. Do you have an agent? Like, no. Listen, take my card.
And you know what else they did? They showed me like a child actor, and it was like, oh, he's from Michigan?
Yeah.
She's from Michigan? They came through our agency. I did no research on this.
How would you know?
What I did is Googled, is so and so from Michigan? And it said, oh, this motherfucker is from Michigan. That don't mean they worked with them.
Right.
And I was just so naive and wanting
It's
to get
that,
into
and
the
let me say,
industry.
I want to call them out every chance I get, because it's people that are really vulnerable, and they're like, man, I'm gonna
Oh
change
yeah.
my life because I should be investing in myself.
Mhm.
And here are these predators
Yes.
over here just sitting back like, yeah, sign right there.
Yes.
You got a credit card on you.
Man,
You don't have a
they
credit
told
card.
me
Give me
up.
a debit. We'll take it. That type of energy. And I'm like, call them out. So when we call them out, don't fall for that. If somebody tells you that they have an agency and they want you to pay them, run.
Last question before we wrap up. Speaking of that, like, how do you work? How do you find a team? I know you got people. You're not doing this on your own. How do you find as to upcoming content creators?
Right.
Because you can help content creators, not just comedians.
Right.
Upcoming content creators and musicians or whatever. Like, what screening process did you put your people through to know, like, oh, this legit, or you ain't you about to finesse me? Get the fuck on. Like, what do
Right.
you do?
I always try to go through people that I know
Mhm.
that have worked with somebody before.
So referrals.
You know what I mean? Referrals, like, for instance, my camera guy, shout out to my camera guy, Teague, dot net digital. I met him through Ronnie Jordan,
Mhm.
another comedian. And I was like, you guys work with him? And the thing is, once people see what you're doing
Yeah.
and you really have a talent, you have something that people want to rock with,
Mhm.
they're going to stick with you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you got to stick with them, and you got to treat them right. You know what I mean? You got to pay the people.
Mhm.
But if it's something where you guys coming up together, then hey, you guys got to have an understanding. Hey, this is what we're doing. I ain't got a whole bunch of money, but what I did was I just reached out to people, and when I work with them, I work with different cameras. When I work with them, I'm like, oh, I like this guy.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm sticking with him.
Mhm.
I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna stick with this person right here. And when people see that you got something buzzing, is the perfect time for them to try to, join forces with you.
Right.
And that's not a bad thing. They just want to come around because I'm hot. What's wrong with that?
Right.
I'm supposed to come around when you're hot. I'm trying to brew my stuff up too, and now you're hot. And now let's attach some things. I can show you what I'm doing over here. Let's make this thing better. Because I can't do nothing without my team.
Right.
I have the idea, but my team helps me formulate it. You know what I mean? Yes, I am going to take the last shot.
Right.
I know this is a vision that's in my head, but the people around me believe in me. They see what we're doing. When I call up comedians, hey man, are you busy Thursday? No. Hey man, I need you to come. I have that type of currency with them.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I don't waste them. I don't just stop wasting your currency. Like, don't just call somebody up just to say, hey, I just seen your video. I ain't want shit. I just want to. I'm just fucking with you.
Right.
Don't just fuck with me. Call me to say, hey man, I got this going on. I got that going on.
Right.
But people be wasting their calls.
Right.
Hey, D-Lake, can you call Cedric the Entertainer and see if he can, man, say,
Yeah,
give
you
me
only
a shout out for my birthday?
Yeah, hell no.
You think I'm gonna waste my call to Cedric the Entertainer for a birthday shout out to you? You kiss my ass, Clarence. My cousin asked me some shit like that. Hey man, why don't you call Cedric the Entertainer, man, see if he can give me a shout out? What? A little shout out, man. It's my birthday. Come on, man. I'm turning 40.
Yeah, that's
He don't care.
right.
Why do you care?
Right.
What is that stroke gonna do for you? Don't waste your currency on the small change stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you call somebody, have something. You know what I mean? If you want something, have something that you can kind of barter with, though.
Right.
Hey, James, what you doing this week? Hey, man, I want to sit down and have a conversation with you, bro.
Right.
About what, man? Let's just chop it up. Bam, we chop it up. Hey, man, I got a podcast. All right, cool, man. See how that happened?
Right. All right. Now
And
you
from
got a
this,
movie.
Hey, man, I got this thing coming on, man. I'd like to see you.
Right. I want you to come do this movie. We got this set going on. I need a character that's gonna play XYZ.
That's how it happens, bro.
That's how stuff happens.
But the thing is, you have to be a self-starter. You could have all these ideas, but if you ain't moving on none of them, they just thoughts in your head.
Right.
That is it. If you got something in your head, write it down. I'm not big on writing most things down, but I try to. But I don't have to. I'm going to execute it. I know that I got this thing in my head about this character named Ephraim. I know what it is. Hey, listen, these are the people I need to play with it. Let's set a date.
Right.
I got the team in place. Bam. Now we shoot that. The team sees what it is when we produce it. Damn, because they're just filming it. They don't really know what the production of it is. They're just in the scene.
Right.
But when they see it, they're like, oh shit, D-Lay got that show out. That is dope. Now other people see it, and now you've built up trust in the community that you work in because you're producing things. And you're going to people, and now you're executing it. And then you do it all over again with the next project.
Right.
And it never stops. And that is what success is.
Man, I appreciate you. Look, like you said, you need me, hit me up.
I
man.
promise you I will.
Listen,
I promise you.
Hey, I'm gonna make my acting re-debut because that bullshit I did when I was
Hey, guess
17.
what? I'm not gonna charge you nothing. I'm not gonna charge you
Hey,
nothing.
D-Lay, give me there. Oh, actually, we need 14,000 in order to release this damn. Bro, they hit me, bro. I should have went. I didn't go up there with no parents. I was
Right, you didn't
I
know.
don't even know
but
if
you
I
didn't
could
know.
sign these documents.
You can't. You 17 years
I
old.
couldn't
They
even
don't
fucking
know.
sign these documents, and I signed it.
I
paid
mean,
them
they
the
know
money.
better though.
Yeah,
They know better.
They for sure got me, man.
Yeah.
They probably getting so many people. It's
Bro, that's what it's a gimmick because there's people out there that are thirsty and they don't do their research.
yeah,
or
people
they'll-
hungry for
Yeah, man, they want it by any means. You know what I mean?
if you think about it, the risk reward is like the risk is I get ripped off for $500 or $600. All
Right.
right, whatever. The reward is I become fucking Justin Bieber or
Right.
you know Macaulay Culkin or one of these fucking childhood stars. People looking at it like, well, I want to become that, and people can sell you on that dream, and they just hustling you, man. It's
Just hustling.
It's not gonna. What I should have did is went and bought my own fucking camera for
Yeah.
$500
Yep.
at Best Buy and put it up on YouTube or whatever, Facebook or whatever that was going on at the time. That's what I should have did. But I mean, hindsight being 2020, that's what I'm doing now.
Right. You got
The
your own
reason I
stuff,
started my
shoot your
media
own.
company is because
Right.
I couldn't get a job as a journalist. Look at me now,
Look
right?
at you now.
So I would just tell people like, just be independent. Start independent. You're gonna learn so much by trying shit that don't work. So when you go negotiate with the Netflixes, with the CBSs, or whatever these big companies are, at least you would have something that lets them know I can walk away from this bad deal because
Right.
I got my own independent stuff going on. We're partners in this. I don't work for you, right? This is a partnership we have going on, and if you want to work together, we can. However, I got my own motion
Right.
and everything going on.
They treat you different.
Yeah, shout out to Issa Rae. She was doing her stuff, her series on YouTube for
Awkward
years
black girl.
before she actually popped.
Insecure.
And now people looking at her like, oh my God, like I want to be Issa Rae, but you got YouTube right here. Issa Rae was doing videos. A lot of it was good, but I'm sure some of her original first content wasn't as good as
No, but she started.
Start.
She started. Right.
She started. Man, listen, D-Lay, I appreciate you, bro.
Thank you for having me, good brother.
Listen, anytime, man. Anytime. I know you be here
Yes,
at
I'm in and
LA.
out of there.
You in and out. Anytime you're in the city, hit me up, man. Any project you got going on, hit me up.
Gotcha.
And I don't know if you're on tour right now, but I gotta see you in person. So let me know about the Detroit one.
Yes.
Because I'm gonna try to take my peoples. I'm gonna
Gotcha.
I'm gonna try to figure that out.
I'll keep
But
you
just
posted on that, good brother.
Keep me posted.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you, bro.
Hey, man, I appreciate you.